This foundation is gluten-free. Ask me why a foundation needs to be gluten-free. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat, if you haven't been here before. Today we are going to do a full day wear test of a foundation that I recently picked up. Let's get into it. So today we are going to be testing the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It says that it is mattifying, sweat-proof, waterproof, lasts up to 24 hours. It also claims to be ultra lightweight, full coverage, and give you a natural finish to the skin. So we will be keeping those things in mind throughout the day. It retails for $10.99 for 1 ounce, which is a standard amount of foundation. I bought mine on Ulta.com, and I know that in some places it is available in stores. I've never seen any Catrice products in any of my drugstores, Walmart's, Target's, Walgreens, but I do know that in some states that this is sold in stores. This foundation is a vegan product, which means that it is cruelty-free. It's also alcohol-free, paraben-free, oil-free, gluten-free. Ask me why a foundation needs to be gluten-free. I've done a little bit of research, and it says that products used around the mouth can be ingested and can cause problems for people with celiac disease. And to that I say, I think you're using too much foundation if you are ingesting your foundation. That's just a hot take, but I'm no cosmetic chemist and I'm no doctor, so I'm just saying, just mom saying that you're probably using too much foundation. A little bit about the packaging. It is a glass bottle, and it has a dropper application form. I got my shade in 35 Natural Beige. They have 26 shades available online at Ulta. Just the last few things to button up before we jump into the application. I have already prepped my face with my regular SPF that I am really familiar with. It's the Tula Protect and Glow and the Versed Guards Up Mineral Sunscreen. I thought it would be helpful to see how this foundation acts with and without a primer. So I used the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This primer is really accessible. You can get it at Walmart, Target, Walgreens, online. So I wanted to pick something that was affordable and accessible that most people could go out and get if they so choose. So I put the e.l.f. primer on this side of my face, my left side. I guess your guys' viewing side would be my right side, but it's on this side of my face. And we are gonna do a check-in about midday. It is almost 10 o'clock, so maybe 4 o'clock. That'll be a 6-hour check-in. I think we have covered all the pertinent details, so I am gonna zoom you guys in and we'll get going on this application. Alright, so I have you guys zoomed in up close and personal, and I am going to be using my Shop Miss A sponge. This is what I use every day that I wear foundation. So I want all of the variables to be things that I'm familiar with, like my SPF, my primer, my application method using a sponge, That way, if something does go awry, we won't be left wondering, oh, well, maybe it was the primer, maybe it was the SPF. Everything is the same surrounding the foundation except for the foundation itself. So we will know that it is the foundation if we do have any issues. So I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. And she's pretty liquidy, a little thicker than what I would expect a foundation that claims to be ultra lightweight. I mean, it's not watery by any means. It definitely had movement, but yeah, it's definitely thicker. Alright, so we are just gonna start applying it, and hopefully, yeah, I don't know what my problem is with picking foundations. I always go too dark. It isn't very helpful that we can't go in the store and pick it out. Let's do this so you guys can see a little better. It's going on nice and smooth, and it does feel not ultra lightweight, at least right now. Maybe it will as it dries down. Maybe it will sink into my skin a little bit more than what it feels like it's gonna right now. So I am gonna put a little bit of foundation on my under eye area. Typically I wouldn't, because I would go in with a concealer after applying my foundation, but since we are doing a review of this foundation, I want to avoid other complexion products. That way we can just kind of keep things a little simpler. So it did give me pretty good coverage on the darkness under my eyes. I would say this side with the primer, my pores are less obvious. So let's step back and see what we have going on here. I would say the mattifying claim is, that box is checked for sure. My skin is definitely more matte than what I started out with. As far as coverage, I would say we are at a medium bordering on full coverage. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that because I see a little bit of redness peeking through and some imperfections. Now, I'm okay with that, but if you are looking for full coverage, you're gonna need to go in with another layer. And keep in mind, I did only do one layer. That's typically all I would put on is one layer, unless it's a really thin and sheer foundation that I'm confident won't crease. It blended in very nicely. Again, I would not say that this is an ultra lightweight foundation. I guess for a full coverage it is somewhat lightweight. It doesn't feel like a full coverage foundation, but it's not ultra lightweight. I am just gonna set my face with powder and put on my cheek products, and we will be back in a few hours for the check-in. Hey guys, so I am here for our midday check-in. I wanted to get a shot outside in natural light. Since it is a heavier coverage, I feel like the studio lights can really help kind of just smooth out some stuff that isn't smoothed out in real life. This is the side with the poreless putty primer from e.l.f. This side is primerless. And I'm just gonna get up nice and close for you guys. We don't have any creasing. I've not touched up with powder And here is this side. Again, no creasing. I also, we had to run an errand today, so I wore a mask. I had it on for, I would say, an hour, and we did get some transfer. I don't know if you can see the inside, the corners there. I'll need to get a mask that has a little bit less busy of a pattern, but I wanted to just pop on, check in with you guys. It is about 3:30, so we are 5.5 hours into our wear test, and I gotta say, it's not my favorite, but it does look really, really good under the studio lights, so maybe for family pictures or something of that nature. So I think that's it. I think that's all we need to cover, and we will come back in a few hours and see what the situation is. So we are here for the summary of the foundation review for the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage. I attempted to record this last night, but July 24th is a holiday in Utah, and people were lighting fireworks until 1 a.m., which I'm all for fireworks. I actually absolutely love fireworks. However, our 2-year-old is terrified of them. Every time that they went off, she would cry and point to the window, and she would be shaking. It was heartbreaking. So I did take down a few notes for you guys. When I wrote it, it was 11 p.m. So that was 13 hours that my foundation had been on. Remember, primer on this side, no primer on this side. And I don't think that the primer did much for the longevity of the foundation. I did still have mostly a face of foundation even 13 hours later. Remember, it does claim to last 24 hours. However, if you were up close and personal with me, I would not be looking that cute. I noticed that the product was breaking up around my nose and my smile lines. So I do think that the 24 hours thing is more a gimmicky advertisement marketing type of a word rather than a valid description of this product. Another thing that I noticed and didn't love was that it did 0 for my pores. I would say it even exaggerated them slightly. However, I do think that this foundation has a place. If you have family pictures coming up, or maybe you're in high school or junior high and you have school pictures coming up, or going to be on camera of some kind, I think this is a great option. For $10.99, you get very, very good coverage, and you get that flawless look on screen. Let's say you have sunspots or acne that you would rather have a little bit fuller coverage, then I would say that this is a really good foundation for specific purposes and people. I would love to test out some products that you guys are interested in. Put them down in the comments. I would love to know. So if you enjoyed this video or got any value out of it, hit the like button and consider subscribing before you go. Turn on notifications. That way you don't miss any of my future uploads. And I can't wait to see you in my next one, guys. Bye. My girls put it through the ringer. So, yeah, contour if you're going to put it on. It's a nice and squeaky vehicle. Well, thanks for that. The application portion, I've already prepped. It is for sure